Hey, family, Tech Man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. We got another good one tonight, baby. Tonight is about choices. Uh, it's okay. Choices is our topic for the night. We'll bring my boys in. I got El Omega coming back in and Money Russ. Plus, I might have a couple more people coming in, which is a good thing. Which is a very good thing. I'm just waiting for them to come in. Just waiting for them to come in. Let me see how we gonna do this. Like this? No, no, we're not doing that one. We're doing this one. Give them a couple of minutes. I just ordered me some Popeyes. Well, I can talk to y'all while they get coming. I just got my credit card today, a secure card. I've been trying to get a. Oh, let me get this. I'm tripping. I ain't got this thing on my head. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah. What I'm trying to do is build my credit back up. My credit was like 800 and something before, and things happened while I was away that destroyed my credit. But that's life, you know. And I just got my card today, and I feel proud about that. It's just like excuse me. After going through all that I went through, excuse me, and still striving to do better. Like I said, the book on Amazon by me, Through Adversity Comes Change by Rich Comer. And now the podcast. And today, I got a secured credit card. And that's good to me. I don't really need the big things in life anymore. It's the little things that mean the most to me, you know. Um just trying to live right, do the right thing, and be at peace. Let me call this guy and see where he at. They posted came on already. But these are my old partners from back in the days, and their whole lives have changed. And this is why I'm bringing them on, because it's only through adversity change takes place. You know, and you have to be able to adjust to life's many, many, many choices. 1 second, y'all. I know it's on this phone here. Sorry about that, you guys. I had my thing already planned for the night, and they wanted to come in, so it's a blessing. Always a blessing to have more people. You know, Yo, I don't know what happened, but the show must go on as always. As I told you guys, today's topic is choices and why choices are so important. Yeah. Choices are very, very important in our lives, right? Very, very, very important part of the things that we have to do and have to go through in life. You know, like I always tell you guys, your choices shape your adversities. Your adversities are your lessons to get you to your blessings. And the only way you're gonna get through your lessons is go through your blessings. And your blessings have adversities and choices attached to it. And this is why I tell you to make the right choices in your life, because when you make the right choice in your life, life is easier. It's us that make it difficult. You know, it's powers that be that's the reason why things are difficult. But you know, we can just keep striving and building, and we'll be a whole lot better. And I'm going at you at a different angle tonight, right? The veneer, the flash versus the frame. Carbon fiber accents looks fast, but real carbon fiber is fast. Choices are the same. Some only change how you appear, others change what you can withstand. See, because if you don't make the right choices, they could be detrimental to your health, to your life, or it might be something that you can't withstand. So you have to be uh, positive about the choices you make. That's why I tell you, everything starts and ends right here. You know, my choices are my choices. No one can have me do something I don't want to do. It's just not going to happen. You know, and that's just how life goes. What choices do? Choices set direction. See, when you make the right choices, direction of your life goes in a positive way. And if you ever notice, right, even if you had negative choices, it only lasts for a little while, and then it backfires and you wind up paying more than you would have had to pay if you just did the right thing. Every yes is a thousand no's. Let me say that again. Every yes is a thousand no's. And why that's so important to me in my life, right, is because I used to do multi-level marketing. And the one of the slogans is you got to go through your no's to get to your yeses. So when you hear no, just know that you're that much closer to your yes. And then a lot of people hear no's and they think that the world is going to end. No, it's just part of life. They install the skeleton of your future, one decision at a time, you know, and you make choices to better your life. You know, if you're making the right choices, your life is going to get progressively better. But if you're not making the right choices, you're going to see chaos, turmoil. But the beautiful thing about it, you know, Growth happens in chaos if you're a person that use your head more than a hat rack or a thinker. It's just what it does. What choices don't do. They don't control outcomes. The outcome is a whole bunch of uh how do I say this? A whole bunch of factors coming together. You know, you can choose discipline and still lose. That's just like I was talking with my buddy the other day. Sometimes even doing the right thing, it's not always the right thing. Even though in your heart of hearts, you know that what you're trying to do is the right thing. But it just doesn't work out that way. You can Okay, the pastor's in. We got the pastor in.
Money Russ ain't in there.
Yeah, there you go. He on the stage.
Go
We got
Money
Money
Russ.
Russ.
Hey, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
Handle your business, hustler.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, I was just telling them about what love doesn't do. They say they don't
Rich.
control outcomes. You can't choose discipline and still lose. You can choose love and still get hurt. Choices manage probabilities, not certainties. And that's just how life is, man. You have to be able to understand why choices are what they are.
Hey, Rich, how can you put it on the way you had it on last time? You had it on a bigger screen type thing.
Right here.
Yeah,
Bam.
that's it.
There we go. Yeah, well, go ahead and let the people know who you are. You know what I mean? Your Gucci, the Gucci Bishop. you know, Even though he's a pastor and a bishop now, but he still stay fly. That's one thing we always been
Hey
since
man,
kids.
look, the clothes don't make us. We make the clothes, right?
You understand me?
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I'm still me, man.
without a shadow of a doubt.
No,
Only thing we change is our mindset and our ideologies. To grow and be better if we are people who think.
and that's the thing, ideology, man.
Yeah,
That's one of the important things, man, that had to change.
yeah. Give us a quick rundown while Russ is coming on ideology, because you are a preacher.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we
well,
gotta.
my ideology, and you always say it all the time, man. Is at one time I thought I was God. To had to come to the realization that there is a real God, and I was not Him.
Because we've seen ourselves in positions where we had to, like, God, please get
Right.
us out. You know
You
what I
know.
mean?
So yeah, I had to realize there is a God. There's a God that exists, and I had to submit like as you believe as a Muslim, which means one who submits their will to Allah, right? Submit your
Yes,
will to
sir.
God. So
Yes,
I had to
sir.
submit my will to God, man.
Mhm.
Realize that I am not Him. Once I
And
did
look,
that, everything turned around.
now look how beautiful your life has been ever since.
Yes, sir.
And we don't have to look over our shoulders no more. We ain't got to worry about when we hear siren outside that they coming for us. None of that. That's the beautiful thing about going through adversities and making the change you need to make in your life. You know,
Yeah,
and making the right choices after you made wrong ones. He God. This one thing about God, He always leads you back to Him. No matter what we do, we always have a road back to Him, no matter what. And as long as you stay positive, no matter how you worship Him or whatever, Russ, your joint is off. Okay, let me see. Your mic is muted.
By accident.
There
Yeah,
you go.
he
Yeah,
good now.
I'm rocking.
Yes,
Yeah, you
sir.
good now, money.
All right, all right.
Yeah, I just seen it up there. So let me put it. But yeah, go ahead and finish your explanation there.
Yeah, so like I said, that my ideology had to change, man, realizing that, you know, that I ain't God. It's things that I can't do. And once
Hmm.
I realized that, things began to change in my life, So here I am today, man, just doing what God's called me to do, because we all have a calling, man, that's for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
And I was
Yeah.
running for mines for years,
Yeah.
for my calling for years. But the beautiful thing about that is to find out that the same things I was doing on the streets that we was doing together,
Yeah.
God could take that and turn what the enemy meant for evil and turn it around for the good.
Yes, sir.
Same gifts that I thought I had in the street, God took that and used it for his glory, So now here I am, instead of you know, committing things as far as taking lives, and I don't mean killing people physically,
Yeah,
destroying lives. Now I'm able to speak life.
that's right.
So that's the beautiful thing about it, how God flips that whole thing around, and then all the gifts that I thought I had then, he's taking it now and using it for the good.
And multiplied it.
Yeah, so
What you say, Russ?
Um, now I came in on that part where L said where the pastor said, you see, he found out he wasn't God. My,
Okay, yeah, give that story. That's the story he wants you to tell. Go
nah,
ahead, tell that story.
not yet. I want him to
Okay,
tell that. I want him to tell that
okay,
story.
okay,
But you
okay.
see how he said, God was putting them through the fire, fashioned
yeah,
them into a weapon, because we ain't no prophets came into their prophecy that it didn't have some stain on them.
All of them went to prison or been prosecuted or
All of them was
killed.
in,
Or,
we're just gonna say they was in the game.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
gonna say he was in the game. But when you seek in the kingdom, you seek that shit within you.
Yes, sir.
Feel me? The kingdom
Yes,
is
sir.
within you, right?
Yes, sir.
And so when I call myself God, don't blame me, blame Jesus.
mm,
You follow me? Because
wow,
he said, isn't it written ye are all gods?
that's right.
So he said that. So I runs with that. But at the same time, I gotta understand that God is within me, God is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, you know what I'm saying? But my realization is like when I put the scriptures to the science, it all works out. You know what I'm saying? We talking about probability, we talking about choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the choices, at one point I figured my life was written. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't have no decision. I ain't had no decision in this. You know what I'm saying? I was destined to go down that path. You know what I'm saying? And die with my boots on, my gun smoking. That's what I thought, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was being fashioned for something else. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah.
And I had a reason and a purpose for living, and I just could not find that reason and that purpose. So that's how I think I got caught up in the different pleasure seeking situations. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I lost my discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because you remember when we was hustling, we wasn't messing with no crackheads.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? That wasn't we probably slipped. Anyway, right? But we had discipline with us. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, but we was fly. We was young niggas getting a lot of money, and we was fly.
Yeah, but
So
I'm saying,
we is on a whole different level from when we was shorties. Cause when we was shorties, we was acting up. But when we got older, everything got better.
absolutely. But I'm saying those things was for me. For me, was just it wasn't because I had to use my mind. It was just breathing. That's just the way I was. It wasn't like a lot of time I
It
was
was the
using
environment.
critical. I was using critical thoughts. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? To get me today. It was just like God just had his hands on me because, you know, a lot of moves was Keystone. You know what I'm saying? I was making some Keystone Cop moves, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
So I say as I right now as an adult, you know, I don't give that keeps me from giving myself too much props. You know what I'm saying, for my outcome, because you know what I'm saying, it was divine intervention that got me here. You know what I'm saying?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Divine intervention. I believe that.
And just like you sanctioned me the other night, I'm sanctioning you tonight. Boy, it was God who booked, and like he said,
Right.
we just slept in the same house. We done did a whole bunch of, and man, for him to be where he's at right now,
Yeah.
and Elle to be where he's at right now, I'm not with I'm being humble. Me, I'm like, you know, I don't even think I'm where I'm supposed to be because of, you know, where I was. But I'm at peace where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But these two brothers here, like I say, man, look, we have been through some things, and brother,
Some things, man.
just for this
Yeah.
brother, the brother Russ right there, just him having his eyes open as long as a blessing. You know what I mean? Like, we was young and wild, and you know, the world was our oyster. You know what I mean? And
what the real, we ain't had no respect for authority, man.
no, not at all. Not
You
at
know what I'm
all.
saying?
Not at all.
It's way different, man. Than
But you know what, another thing, we didn't have an understanding of God back then. Or our understanding was skewed.
yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Now
Our
I
understanding,
think it was surface.
yeah. Like now we understand in our heart, it's a total different animal. But the
Yeah.
whole thing is like how we were able to come up and still be of some relevance today after all that we've been through. Look, we're on a podcast, man. This is saying something major for people like us.
Hey, but then you know, I think that relevance is relative. You follow me?
Mhm.
Because riding or walking, you're gonna always be that dude to me.
Yeah, no question.
You follow what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna see you and you not making the same moves that you was making in the past, and then I look down on you because you're not making those same moves. You
No,
understand
but
what I'm saying?
yeah, that's growth though.
You're gonna always be there with me because that's where I got you. You know what I'm saying? So
Ain't no question. Yeah.
your
And you as well.
your position don't diminish because
Mhm.
you're not making those. Those was really some crash out moves we was making.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah,
me?
no question.
If you
Without a
really be
shadow of a
serious,
doubt.
if you really be serious about the stuff that we got into, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that could have resulted in, and it resulted in us losing a lot of soldiers because we was
Yeah.
making those kind of moves. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And that
That
goes back to
that's
choices.
that's the thing. And
And that goes
did
back
you
to
explain
choices.
the choices? Did you open up with the choices, Vic?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
opened up with that? All right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that goes
But
back to the choices, man.
see what happened was one time Elle was telling me. He said I was down on my luck. Word, I'm gonna give you the intro, then you run with it, Elle. I was on my ass. So I came to Pennsylvania. Elle got me up there. Whatever. I had a little divine intervention getting up there too. Right, that set things in motion. So when I'm talking to Elle, I'm like, yo, man, well, you know, because we look back and we watch Elle, we like, man, it's got to be some game with this, man. And you know, that's my man, you know what I'm saying? Man? I'm
Yeah,
G checking him, right? And
yeah.
he laid the game down. He was telling me about when he got his life on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the way he laid it down, the story was so vivid that I felt it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the way the story was given to him, I put myself in his shoes. You get what I'm saying? That's how
Yes,
Yeah.
vivid
sir.
the story was. I could just see it as he was telling it. You know what I'm saying? And it
You was
touched
able to
me.
relate because it touched your heart. It was relatable.
And then you came with the topic of choices. And that story came to my mind. And I wanted him to share that because it's like it was profound. You know what I'm saying? I want him to go all the way from the bullpens to where he got to where he, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted to tell it. I wanted to get down and dirty with it, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, basically, you know, and we talked the other night. We was on, for those who have watched my brother's podcast, through adversity comes change, right? That's what it is, Rich.
Yes, sir.
Through adversity comes change. We was on like 2 nights ago, and we was kind of just, you know, we was chopping it up, man. We was reminiscing, and we was going back to when we was getting them M's, getting them millions, and this, that, and the third, and you know, but we kept it real. We talked about, you know, we wasn't trying to glorify where we was at or where we was at before, but what Money Russ is talking about, my last go round on the streets. This was my last round on the streets. That last run, man, and it was in the year 2000. And what happened was, you know, I was facing like 25, man, and I was gonna be gone for a while. You know what I mean? And they had caught me dead to right too, Rich. They caught me dead to right. Matter of fact, it was some and I don't want to get deep into how everything happened, as far as, you know, the snitches and all that, how they trapped me off. But, you know, they trapped me off with some heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? Direct sale, undercover, this and that. But you know how it go in New York when you got the third felony for the same crime, you know what I'm saying? They could have really did whatever. Well, anyway, bottom line is, man, at that time, Rich, I was so messed up in the game, not money wise, I was getting plenty money, but spiritual wise, I was twisted, man. I think I was on like 100 milligrams of Murdoch. I was doing like 3 bundles straight up of heroin. I was taking them pills they call Xanax. I was taking like 5 sticks of those a day. On some zombie type stuff, man. On the real side, Money could attest to that, because he'd come up to my crib and where L at, my mom's be like, he over there on the couch. I'm on the couch, burning the couch up and burning my lighting the couch on fire, dropping stuff. But you know, bottom line is, you know, I was at my last, man, you know, far as in the streets, man. This was it. The money was all there, but like I said, my addiction was so high that when I got knocked this time, they was tired, Rich. They was tired of seeing me coming back and forth to Rikers Island, because every time I get knocked, for those that's in New York know, Rikers Island, it's only 2 buildings that you get detoxed in: that's C76 and C95. You know, so I wasn't sentenced yet, so I go straight. Every time I get knocked, I go straight to C95. And the C95, once again, for those who've been in for years, know it's only 2 doctors: the African doctor and the Chinese doctor. And C95, I'm talking about, this is from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s. Them 2 doctors was there for years. And so in 2000, they was tired of seeing me coming through. When I came through, they was like, oh, Mr. Patrick here again. They ain't even give me nothing. Yo, look, they ain't get, because every time I come through, I'm twisted. You know, as far as I had to get detox. And look, I go off in there, make sure, you get me down to the clinic. I don't want to hear nothing. As soon as I come through the pens, man, they rushing me to that clinic. But so they got tired of me. They left me in the cell, bro, without detoxing and giving me nothing for like 3 days. So I'm going into all type of convulsions. I'm doing in the seizures. I'm talking about, and at that time, that was in the year 2000. It was nothing but crackheads, you know, and the pens in them days. When we was been in the 80s and early 90s, it was, you know, gangsters was going to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you go through there's Money Rush, you go through them pens, you're going to see your peoples, you're going to see some live wires in there. But in the 2000s,
you might run into the bag.
Yeah, you might run into some bags in the pen. But in 2000s, bro, you going there, nothing but crackheads in there. So I'm in there and I'm sick as a dog. And I got crackheads looking at me like I'm a derelict. They literally said, yo, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So,
the dope ass, huh? You think we cracking weird?
Because I'm stinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm almost you know the word, whatever they call it, messing on yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing up, bro. I'm stinking. It's coming all out my pores. And so I'm on the ground. And they like, yo, get this derelict out of here before we kill him. We gonna kill him. Get him out of here, man. And so I'm on the ground, bitch. I can't even talk because I'm so sick. I'm like looking up, saying, man, y'all niggas must don't know who I am, man. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? So it's like the shoes on the other foot. This is the first time I experienced humiliation like that. I
yeah,
got cats that
Yeah,
in the
yeah, because
streets
you
would
know
be
we never get
begging
on
me for
that
something.
floor.
yeah.
Huh?
Ain't no
What you said,
question.
You
Money?
know we used to never get on that
No
floor.
question.
And you would never catch me on the floor. You know, you never really catch us standing up. We got a bench
Yeah,
every
no
time
question.
we
Without
go
a shadow of
through.
a doubt.
You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm on the floor, the shoes on the other foot. I got crackheads. People would never on the street think about looking at me wrong or saying nothing wrong, calling me a derelict. And so now here it is. It's going on like a couple of days now, so my body couldn't take it. I'm going convulsion seizures. So they shoot me out of the bullpens. They send me to Bellevue Hospital. It sends me to Bellevue Hospital. Now it's getting real crazy. Now I never forget, I'm hearing everything that's going on. They saying we can't get no vital signs out of this guy. His body's getting cold. Look, they were sticking needles in my jugular and my spine trying to draw blood. They couldn't even hardly draw blood. And the doctor came in and literally said, he's from the jail anyway, right? Let's not even waste no more time. So he was
Whoa,
ready to throw the tag on my toe, bro, right there.
whoa.
And look, and my name was El Sameka at the time. So I ain't want to hear nothing about no Jesus, no God, no nothing about that. And one of the nurses, I never forget her voice. She had a Jamaican accent. She came over and she grabbed my hand and she started calling out on the name of Jesus, man. She's praying, Now, I'm not trying to get religious. I'm not trying to sell nobody into
No,
religion.
no.
I'm
You
telling,
just telling
y'all
life,
what
life.
happened to me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everybody got their way of how they come out. And so she's crying out on Jesus' name. I'm saying, yo, she got to be crazy. I'm in my mind now. I can't talk consciously, but I'm saying to myself, yo, get the doctor over here. You crazy? I'm not dead. Get the doctor back over here. And so the other nurse came over and she grabbed my hand and she started praying, but she's praying in an unknown tongue. I don't know what she was talking about. Praying, yeah. So she's praying. They call, praying in the spirit. Found out later what was going on, But anyway, so they praying. This whole thing took no longer than probably like a minute and a half, man, maybe 2 minutes the most. It seemed like a long time, but it's real quick. And next thing I know, I ain't gonna tell nobody that I seen the light at the end of the tunnel and the sky crack open, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But something started happening on the inside of my body, man. I started getting warm and I could feel the warmth. My eyes opened up. And when my eyes flooded and opened up, the nurses went crazy. They called the doctors back in the room. He's not dead. He's alive. They came in and did what they had to do. But one of the nurses, she grabbed my hand and she asked me, do I know God? You know what I'm saying? Did I ever give my life to the Lord, this and that? And I was like, no, just let the doctor come and take care and do what he got to do. I don't want to hear no more. I'm up now. I'm gonna be all right. So
Yeah.
she led me in the prayer, man. She let me. They call it the sinner's prayer. And so after that, I'm going through that. But I've skipped over a few things. This is what really made me know, or really kind of foreshadowed a doubt, believe what I believe and why I stand so strong where I'm at now. Because while I was going through that stuff on my way from Rikers Island, I believe it was between Rikers Island to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I was going through some things where I was seeing visions. Now you gotta hear this, Rich. I was like, it's like, you ever seen that movie, that Christmas movie with the ghosts of the past and all that
Scrooge.
stuff?
It's
Yeah, that
Scrooge.
Scrooge thing. So it was something similar to that. It's like, like it's kind of like an angel was coming to me, and showing me my past. So I started seeing a vision of my wife. I have a wife now with 3 daughters, man. I got 3 daughters and a wife. At that time, I had no wife, no kids, and nothing. But it's like God was showing me that I had a family, and there was a wife and 3 little babies in the hospital, and the babies was in his crib, and it showed me that their bodies was being eaten up. Their bodies was being destroyed and eaten up. And I didn't understand what that vision was, but it showed me that that's what's going to happen to my family if I don't change my life. That I had a choice I had to make right then and there. And then another vision that flipped to another vision where it showed me going into the prison, like kind of ministering to people in jail and stuff like that, which I do today. So
Yeah.
I didn't understand it
Alhamdulillah.
at that time. It showed
Yeah.
me ministering to some people in jail. And look, he showed me going into the jail and walking out the jail at free will, which never
Man.
happened in my life.
Man, you
At free
understand
will.
me?
So on top of that, it flipped over where the vision had me in the projects. And I'm in the middle of the projects. It looked like it was a gang war going on. Now, I didn't know what was going on at this time when I'm seeing these visions. I know exactly what it is today, but at
Yeah.
that time, I didn't understand it. So he showed me it was the Crips and the Bloods was going at it. And so then I don't know if I was coming home from jail or if I was coming home but I was coming home from somewhere, program. But I came into the projects, and the leader of the Crips and the leader of the Bloods, they both called me, yo, L, come in. And I was talking to both of them, and I got a chance to reconcile them. And you know what I'm saying? The whole war just, boom, silenced the war. And God showed me at that time, it's like the angel said, if you change your life, this is what's going to happen in your life. If you don't change it, this is what's going to happen. Your the fruit of your
They're gonna
loins
disappear.
is
They're
going to
gonna
die.
disappear. Yeah.
Fruit of your loins. And I got 3 daughters today, but so that's
Yeah.
crazy of
Alhamdulillah.
me seeing that vision. Because
Yeah.
I dabble wife 3. And then showed me if I change my life, I'm gonna be able to have power to stop this type of stuff. And today I sit on the board, the prison board, bro. I sit on the prison board in the prison, man. So I'm actually the one that's a liaison between the warden and the captains and the prisoners. You know what I'm saying? The inmates rather. And so that's part of the vision. I'll go in and out as I please now in the jail.
Through adversity comes change.
That's right. And you know, I'm talking to a lot of, you know, some of my family, my nephews and all that, you know, Bloods and this and that. So I talk to a lot of gang members, man, and I, you know, reconcile some stuff, and a lot of them look up to me because I'm pastoring now. I've been pastoring 17 years. And so I got a footprint in the community, man. I dedicate my life to the streets, man, helping brothers coming out of stuff. So when Money Russ was talking about that, that's what it is, man. The visions came and man, and that's what made me know that there is a God, man. There is a God. And so I'm just grateful today, man, what God is doing. So I made the choice. I took the choice. When that happened, I took the choice. Now look what happened. And when I made that choice after the visions and the nurse prayed for me, the choice was when I wound up coming out of jail. And I'm gonna leave it, I'm gonna let y'all go after this. Check it out. My lawyer came in. Watch this. While I went to a program, because as soon as I came out the hospital, you know, my case wasn't dropped. This is another thing. My bail was $100,000, and look, I got out on a ROR, man, because I beat that 188 day. Y'all know about the 188 day. I had a 188 day. They held that's when they have your body in their physical possession. You know what I'm saying? Without
trying
you to the courts. You know, in 188 hours. Amen. They got to release you on your own recognizance. And that's what happened. I ain't had to pay no bail. And then I walked out of the hospital paying no bail. But I wound up going to a program because I still had to go back and forth to court. Went into a Christian program, wound up really changing my life, giving my life to God, getting serious. 5 months later, my lawyer comes to me and tells me, listen, you can leave the program because the district attorney dropped the charges because they lost all the evidence. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
you can't make this stuff up, bro.
That's God.
You know what I'm saying? And he had to do stuff like that in my life because brothers like us, you know what I'm saying? We got to learn the hard way. It's you can't just you know that saying, you can't piss on me and tell me it's raining. You know what I'm saying? You really got to show me something. And God showed me how real he was, man. Come on. Charges dropped, all that evidence. Man, it was crazy. And so I wound up dedicating. After that, I said, you know, this is it, man. This is it. I ain't going back. And from there, now I'm getting ready to be a bishop. You know, next month I'm being consecrated a bishop. I have a whole jurisdiction under me, about 5 other churches, you know what I mean? And 3 churches of my own I'll be having soon. And you know, it's just amazing, man. But my thing is giving back, you know, because we took a lot out them streets. All 3 of us, we took a lot out of them streets, man.
And
but
this
you know,
is why
can
I'm
I say
doing
this
this.
before
Go ahead.
back to y'all? Money know this, man. I believe we all had a good heart because when we was in the streets, man, Money Russ tell you, man, I wouldn't allow a lot of cats that was hustling for us to sell to pregnant women. I ain't dig that. He wasn't selling to no little kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like taking food stamps because I felt it was taking food out of little kids' mouth. So we had some type of conscience when we was hustling, man.
Yeah,
You
and
know
I
what I'm
remember
saying?
that.
Even
I
though we was
remember
doing
that,
the wrong
cause
stuff,
I
we
remember
still
that
had some type of,
story. No, what I don't mean to interrupt, but I remember that story because when I came out to the project with y'all, it was a pregnant broad, and she used to try to come all the time. He was like, "Nah, man, don't nobody, you know." And going back to you, this is why God chose us, because even though we were doing the wrong things, He knew that our hearts was good.
yeah, man.
See, that's the whole thing. And he know that if he put us through certain things, we're going to wind up making the right choices because of our heart.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I know that if we wouldn't have went through the things we went through, we wouldn't be to where we are today.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm gonna give a quick story too now, since that's what it's just like when I got shot last year,
Mm-hmm.
9 times. I didn't feel one bullet. And then when I'm laying on the floor, and I'm like, damn.
Man, we thought you was gone, bro.
Look, I was like, man, I just did 28 years of my life in federal prison. Went through the halfway house, the shelter, got my own crib. Now I'm finna go back to jail. And God said, man, shut your punk ass up, nigga. I got this. And that's just like that. And it was like peace and tranquility that just
Yeah.
came down. And like I'm waiting for the police to come. And it's like, nah, man, we're not trying. You're a victim. That's God. And I could have sought revenge afterwards because I had some niggas like, yo, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But instead, I chose peace. Look, within a year, a book.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? On Amazon. I got a Kindle on Amazon. And now we got the podcast.
Yeah.
You see, this is about choices. This is when you make the right choices in your life. Just because you went through all the stuff in the past, this is one of the things I tell people on this platform. Your past is only a measuring stick for you today to let you know the things you don't like and the things that you do, and you make boundaries. And the people who love you is the ones who are going to respect your boundaries, and the people who don't is the people you let go. It's
Yeah.
going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but sometimes in life, right? People are like leaves, branches, and roots. The people who are fair weather in your life, they like leaves. They're gonna, as soon as the wind blow, they're gonna fall off. Branches, it got to be a storm. But the roots is the only one that always stay. And you have to be able to get to your place in life to where you just have the roots in your life. Because a lot of times, we have people in our lives, we make bad choices because they're not in the place that we are. Like, you're a pastor now, you're a grandfather now. I'm doing podcasts, writing books. If we put people that are not on the same mind frame in the same wavelength, it's gonna take, we have to start building energy. Like, of course, when you start putting energy together, it starts breaking down barriers, it starts opening doors. And this is what this is about. This
Yeah.
is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like he said earlier, we heard a lot of people, man. And like I said, we had 13 spots at one time, 4 in Brooklyn and 9 in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of them, and people didn't even know that we was getting the kind of money we was getting, because we was on some fly stuff, and flying high. We most of the time we in the house, we ain't out nowhere, 'cause niggas in the house, But
Yeah.
we were able to make positive choices in our lives. Now
Me
we're
and Money
still
Bus was
here.
talking about that earlier, man. We was talking about just reminiscing on, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that the landmarks in our life, man, that was major, right, Money?
Yeah.
Them days, like
Like you had
it,
to be there.
huh?
Like you had to be there.
You had to be there.
Yeah.
Name 3 significant days, Money, in back in the days. Just 3.
The Diana Ross concert.
Oh
Look,
yeah,
ain't too
yeah.
many people. Ain't too
I
many
was
people
there.
can
I
relate
was
to that.
there. Yeah, it was me,
The Diana
JV,
Ross
Keith,
concert.
Ive.
You was there on
Yeah.
both nights.
No, that was just there that one night it rained. Yo, that
Oh
joint
yeah,
was
Next
that
yo
day,
was
that
the second night. That
the
was the
next day,
second night.
On the popping.
No,
Yo.
the first night it rained. The next night she had it for us.
Yo, that was
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. We went down there the first day it rained too.
Yeah,
It came back the next day.
and went crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
No, but it was a different time in New York. You know what I'm saying? It was like that was wild days. You know, like how it is now.
Wow.
Like where I
Wow.
live at now, East New
Wow.
York, you see white people walking around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You wouldn't have never seen that, even in Harlem, certain parts of Harlem, down on that 8th Avenue, and man,
that couldn't happen.
Back in them Don and Ross concert days, that was the days me and Money West, we was going up to the Harlem World. We was going to the Fever. You know what I'm saying? We stayed in Harlem, man. Broadway International.
But you know when Brooklyn mobbed up, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we was mobbing up.
Oh no, when they mobbed up, they was robbing something. Hey, look, ain't no two ways about it. If you got 10 of them together, somebody getting robbed.
Everything was getting robbed, man.
Yeah, back then in
the
early 80s.
And no, we ain't touch on Money, the Crush Groove joint.
Oh, that was crazy.
We was at the Crush Groove, Rich, and Madison.
I ain't go to that one. Okay, y'all got to put me on to that one.
Before Don and Ross concert, right?
I think that was way before the concert.
Yeah, Crush Groove, man.
Who was there at the
LL Cool J, Fat Boy,
MC,
Houdini.
They had a mob there.
Run DMC.
They had a mob that night.
Everybody, whoever you could think of, man, all the rappers was there, man. Okay. And that's when we first started hustling, Rich. This is right before we got with you.
Pretty L got stabbed up in there, man.
Yeah, I got stabbed in my head, man. Yeah. Because look, me and Russ had just stopped hustling. I was stopped messing with the streets for sticking up, and he stopped jostling, and we was buying them yaps uptown with y'all.
Yeah.
And so we started getting a little paper. So now we at the Don and Ross concert. So the whole Brooklyn mob runs past me and Russ.
That's Crush Groove. That's Crush Groove.
I mean the Crush Groove. Yeah, I mean the Crush Groove. They ran past Russ. Yo, come on. You know, they ready to rob in Madison Square Garden. So I'm telling Money West, because Money West he's still on in it. Yo, let's do it. I'm like, man, we getting paper now. We ain't got time for that, man.
And they robbed the dudes right next to us.
Right next to us from the Bronx.
And so the dudes who got robbed figured we had something to do with it.
Yeah.
And we had nothing to do with it.
Homeboy came. I had the polo glasses on at that back then. This is.
We had the Bally's on.
84, right?
I had the brown ones. You had the beige joints.
Yeah, we tried to yap my glasses. We went at it. We turned that joint out.
And when I seen what's going at it, they was trying to jump them. I came and jumped in and just started hooking off. And next thing I know, man, the dudes, about 4 of them, one pulled out and stabbed me in my head. And I wake up, I'm at the bottom of the escalator. Money West picks a dude, one of them up, and throws him off the balcony. We on the top tier. He throws off the balcony, getting them off me, man.
Hey,
it was crazy, man.
By the time I got to L, it was a little dude, L fighting one dude, and they had a little dude on the side, and he was hitting L
with the knife.
I didn't know he was stabbing them. By the time I gets to him, they falling down the escalator. So the dude that he was fighting, as soon as he got down, you know, they was laid out. By the time I jumped down off the escalator, I started stomping him out. Blah, blah, blah. His man came from nowhere and caught me. Bah!
But by that time, the whole Brooklyn mob came back and started stomping them out.
Yeah.
And when they was stomping them out, Money West started flipping on the Brooklyn mob. Look what y'all did to my man, man.
Yeah.
Because of this, look at my man, because of y'all. He started flipping on Brooklyn.
They took us to the back. They took us to the back.
We had to go through all that to meet all the rappers. They took us to the back where Run DMC and all of them, they was looking at me like, yo, what happened to Lil Shorty Wop, man? We back there now, Rich, with all we in the green room with all the rappers and all that.
Because you remember back in the day when we used to go to them clubs, we turn up in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you heavy, you jeweled up in there. You know what it is. You know what it is. That's how we was getting down. You know what I'm saying? So we go to all them clubs back then. We was going ape shit. He was going ape shit. You know?
And that's the thing, man. And so, you know, like you said, through adversity comes
Comes
change.
change.
And anything we talk about, that's gonna come out. Through
Yeah.
adversity comes change,
Yeah.
man.
No, but
Through
you
all
gotta
that
go
was
through it to get
adversity,
to it.
man. Check
Yeah.
it out. It sounds like it's highlights. Oh yeah, they was getting it. This that. Listen, man, that was adversity for
And
us,
no
man.
question. At
We
its
ain't
finest.
realize it at the time.
And
Now,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But
if,
that
if
was adversity, man.
I think that if a listener focus on the life, he might get infatuated with the highlights. But
Yeah.
if the listener don't know the pain, that's why I wanted you to tell that story, because the
The
pain,
pain.
you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
you got to have a God level system to ingest all that shit you was ingesting.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
should kill a horse. If a normal person was taking all the trust me, because I know my joint's up there. You understand what I'm saying? But if a normal person consume a fraction of that, they'd be out of here.
They be out of here.
No
You know what
question.
I'm saying? You have
No
to have
question.
a system of the gods to be able to handle.
No question. No, without a shadow of yo.
And then Rich, you know, at that time to be humiliated like that, you know, everybody has their bottom, they say.
Yeah, no
That was my
question.
bottom for humiliation because I thought I was, you know, I was on top of the world, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. And to have crackheads call me a deviling. Come on, that was the lowest of the lowest for me,
Yeah.
man. They
Yeah.
called me a deviling, you know, El Samega, you
Yeah.
crazy. You know,
Now,
Yeah.
so that was, you know, I was humiliated. And then when I got to the hospital and we went to Bellevue, I heard the nurses, they think because I, you know, I ain't Spanish, but I understand Spanish. They
Yeah.
saying, ticato, you know, look at talking about
Yeah.
look dope thing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Coming through, I'm like, man, I used to piss them people like years ago. And y'all calling me that, you know, so it was I was humiliated, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I had to go through that, man. I had to go through that for the
No, but
change.
if you didn't go through that adversity, you wouldn't have never got humbled. See,
Right,
this is why I tell you, it's your choices shape your adversities, and your adversities are your lessons that get you to your blessings. And why I say that, everybody has adversity. Your adversity shape and mold you to who God wants you to be. If
right.
you pay attention, look where you at now. You're a bishop. Your adversity shape and mold you to who God wants you to be.
Yeah,
You're a grandfather. You know what I'm saying? The daughter just graduated the bar. Where I'm at, God has me where I'm at. I'm writing
yeah.
books. I'm doing podcasts. You know, even after going through the things I just went through. So that's going through your adversities, understanding. But see, you can't get to change unless you understand your adversities and why God is putting you through this. See, it's like I tell people, it's 5 principles, 3 articles, 1 hill. It's helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. The second article is wherever you at in life, God put you there because He's driving the car and He makes no mistakes. But you must take the responsibility that wherever you at in life, your choices put you there. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we're gonna all go through adversities. Our adversities going to be different from each other's. But the beautiful thing about it, our adversities shape and mold us to who God wants us to be because everything He puts us through is preparing us for what He has for us in the future
That's right.
if we don't take shortcuts. See, because shortcuts leave you short. But when you go up that hill, and it's going to be hard, them legs going to be burning. But when you get to the top and you get flat land and the blessings come, man, it's going to be beautiful. You know, and that's not one of the reasons why I do what I do. I do it because, you know, even though I sold a lot of drugs and stuff, I always had a good heart and I always wanted to help people, you
Right.
know. And with going through all them years in prison and everything I went through and then being let down by the people that I love the most made me understand that like, yo, life is too short. You got to make life right. You know, we've done the wrong. Now it's time to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. Can I tell you
Hey,
something,
hey,
man?
hey.
Go ahead.
Yeah, money. You want to say something?
I was gonna say, like, you know how when you call people down to get a life to the Lord, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was going to church down here. I'm just and I I just going because my wife,
Yeah.
she want the kids to be in a righteous environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to have that fellowship. You feel me? That was my reasoning for going. So it's basically I was going at the end of the shotgun.
Right.
So I'm there every week, and then when they get to that point, that music, the choirs start doing their thing. Pastor start calling people down, and it felt like he was just talking to me. Now you know where I come from. I'm God. I always been God. You know what I'm saying? The nation. That's my whole mentality.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Understand what I'm saying? But I'm going to this church every week. It feel like he's calling me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one day the tears just start coming down my eyes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
And
how it worked.
I just found myself in front of the man. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he blessed me. And it was like he knew that one day he was going to convince me that the Lord was going to convince me because the Lord just used him as a vessel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So that's how I got to look at it. I can't look at it like this man has any kind of authority over me. The one
Right.
that
Right.
I got to feel like, yo, his spirit touched mine and made that
Yeah.
connection. I got to
Yeah.
feel like that because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm going to feel like, yo, I'm being sucked to this old.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
So I'm down there, but I'm saying that to say that humbleness that I got it today. You know what I'm saying? It came through a whole lot of humiliation.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? A whole lot of humiliation. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I humbled myself. You
Right.
That
Right.
was God humbled
Right.
you.
know how they
That's
say the
right.
streets is undefeated,
Yes, sir.
but I stayed in there trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to win.
Trying to win. Trying to
Trying to
win.
win.
I got back in the ring countless times.
Mm.
Made the foxhole prayer, and I got answered on many occasions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was given the shot, and I went out there and sight. I feel like the Lord gave me a shot. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Or
That's
that
what
Uh-huh.
happened.
force, whatever, however you want to call it, gave me plenty shots. So when
Yeah.
I did fall, I knew it was because of me. But I'm saying, you know how one thing I noticed is that when the real come to the brothers and sisters that's in a life
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that spirit come up out of you, you can touch him. As
No
long as
question.
it's genuine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I say, you know what I'm saying, I can put my stamp on you. Because, a lot of people I see, you know what I'm saying, because I don't really do what we doing. I'm saying when I see, if I don't know you a Brooklyn head, you know what I'm saying, I don't know you and you ain't saying the right things, then you know what I'm saying, I can't put my stamp on you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
sir.
me stamping Donnie Brasco or somebody. With your paperwork got to be right.
That's right.
You feel me?
Yeah. But money, you know what stood out to me when Rich just said, that he had a good heart. He said he had a good heart, man. And
Rich was a trick.
yeah, so look
Rich,
at
Rich was a trick, and if you had some good game, you get $2 out of Rich.
Ain't
yeah,
no
but listen to what
question.
I'm saying though, man. So when he said that, it hit me because I'm looking at all three of us, and I know that God. It's a scripture in the Bible, man. It talks about David, and God. He says something to the Israelites, and he says that David is a man after my own heart. Now here it is, David. You know what I'm saying? Was somebody who was what they call that? He tried to kill somebody just to get their wife. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
murdered. He was adulterous. You know, he was doing things like that. But here it is. God said, "This is a man after my own heart." And the reason why he said that is because David earlier was in the field taking care of the sheep. He was taking care of his father's sheep. He was taking care of the sheep. He was feeding the sheep. He was protecting the sheep. He was fighting lions and bears for the sheep. He was feeding the sheep. You know what I mean? So that's what God does. He takes care of the sheep. He's a shepherd. You know what I mean? So he called Lady David to that and said, David's a man after my own heart. So when I look at that and I look at all three of us, God knew our heart. Another thing that God says, he said, in the Bible says, God looks at the man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart.
Yeah.
So our outward appearance was crazy. I just heard somebody on Rich podcast the other day saying, he was telling, yeah, Elsa Maker was on my thing. Dude was like, Elsa Maker, man, he was a cold-blooded gangster and a murderer. And he was saying
that was Johnny. That was little Johnny. That was little Johnny.
I said, he talking about me like that, but I had a good heart. Rich just said he had a good heart. And they say that about money. Look, they thought I was Santa Claus and Mom, bro. You know, I used to come around and I strategically get a whole bunch of singles, a couple $100 of singles. And before I get from one end to the project to the other, I'm passing them all out. You know what I'm saying? And Money Russ on the island, they used to get tired of Money Russ up north. You know what I'm saying? Every jail he probably went to, Cat, Saggy, Elmira, wherever he was at, you know, by saving people's lives. You know, dudes ready to give it up to people, and he like, nah, man, let him live. You know, they was getting tired of it, man. You go saving somebody again, man.
Yeah, the homies wasn't feeling that.
Yeah, so you know, we had good hearts, man. Even though we was doing things, we did some devious things, but sometimes I feel like Scarface said, man, I ain't never give it to nobody who didn't deserve it, man.
Ain't no question. Yeah.
You know,
but we had to go through that.
Man.
No
we
question.
Had good hearts, bro.
Now,
but on the real side.
I think, you know, me, I go for the spirit and your character. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no question.
And that's what I'm big on that, man. You know what I'm saying? If I feel you, I feel you. If I can't feel your energy, I don't care how much money you get.
They calling the prayer.
Oh, you got
yes, sir. No, well, I got time.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's how I do, man. You know what I'm saying? I look at that spirit. I'm big on that.
That's how I am. If I don't feel you, I ain't gonna fuck with you. Like excuse my French, but like say like we in a, you know, like I walk up and I feel you. I'm gonna talk to the people I'm gonna talk to, and I'm gonna keep it pushing.
Yeah,
you know, I'm big on on vibration, man. You know, and I'm not gonna say nothing crazy to you or nothing like that. I'm gonna just keep it pushing. You know, like I used to say, this is one of the things I used to say. I used to tell them to get away from me. Now I get away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now I get away from you. You know, and it's easier for me.
Because that smile in your face might be an upside down grin. You hear me?
Ain't no question.
But I'm gonna tell you something, man. This song, you know, Rich, I'm just want to speak into your life with this podcast, man. I really want to see you blow up on this thing, man. And
I want us all to blow up. You know, it's about everybody. See, one thing I know about money, it's enough money for everybody. Look at this right here. When we as kids, right? Right? There was only 2 or 3 billionaires in the world. Today they got thousands of billionaires.
Right.
And if you was to take just the money from Elon Musk, what they say he worth like 800 something billion.
Yeah.
If you took his money, you could feed the whole world and he'll have change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand the world that we living in, you know, and this is the beautiful thing about having a good heart. God is going to bless us just because of our heart. And like you said, the Bible says, what you said in the Quran, it tells you, damn, I just lost my train of thought.
Man looks out the outward appearance and God looks at the heart.
Yeah, no, but yeah, God judged you by your niyat, your intention. This is what it says in Islam. Your intentions. See, because this is how merciful God is. You can think about doing something wrong and don't do it, and you get a blessing. You can think about doing something wrong and do it, you get one sin. But if you think about doing something good, you get a blessing. And if you think about doing something good and do it, you get it many times over. So this is the mercy of God. And this is what I understand how great he is, because we are all three right here living testaments. I ain't think I was gonna live to 25, and I know what you guys went through because I was there, part of it.
Yeah,
Man, like we are blessed and highly favored.
yeah. We've been at death doors plenty times, all of us, man. You know what I mean?
Look, I OD'd in the apartment on
God,
37th Street. Remember, they had to hit me with 13 of them solutions and the
man.
needles and all that, the defibrillator. I was dead for like 3 minutes. Then the shootout in there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Then the other one here. Like, it's so many things, man. So this lets me know that where we at now, we're in the right space.
Right.
And I thank you for giving me the blessings for the podcast. And like I said, this ain't just for me. This is for me and whoever.
right.
Because it takes a team. It ain't just me. Ain't no eyes in team. It has to be collective. And the only way we can do it, like you reach out to dudes to bring them on. He reach out people bring them on. I reach out people I know, and so forth and so on. And then after a while, this joint will get rocking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
that's what
think.
we gotta do, man.
Yeah. Long. I think long as your purpose is righteous,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
You got a righteous purpose. You can't fail, man. You know what I'm saying.
no,
Fair,
You
can't
know.
fail.
yeah,
So we came on the other night. We was talking, reminiscing. Chopping it up. We went down memory lane for a little while. Tonight we came on, did a little bit of memory lane, but we hit on some good points. I like that you had a
topic
subject, man. You had
choices.
choices, man. And so, you had a subject. And so every time you get a little subject, we come on, man. You call us on and we call some of our comrades. We come on and
Yeah,
do what we do, man.
yeah, that's what it's about.
And
You
build it.
know,
You know how we
yeah,
used to have the ciphers back in the days, Money Rush?
Yeah,
Every
that's what
cipher.
I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You want a real voice out there, man.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You
Got
can't
yeah,
so
just
many.
call any voice.
You got so many voices out there. It's hard to distinguish. That's like when a
Yeah,
bunch of voices going off in your head, and you don't know which one is the righteous one.
right, right.
yeah,
Follow what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you gotta sort of like allow the people time to tune out and filter out all that other whatever it is and get to the righteous.
And I
yeah.
You know?
appreciate that tonight, man. That we all was mindful and respectful, and everybody said what they had to say, and no cutoffs and all that. That I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, man, I'm gonna say God bless y'all, brothers.
All right, my
You got
brother.
to get to your prayers, Rich.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
We
let
had
me
a good
jump on
night.
my prayer myself.
That's
Money
right.
bus off. Money bus went off.
His joint went black. I
Oh,
think I think
and that's his
he
joint
ain't off.
knocked
He's
out.
still on. He right there. Here you go. Right there.
I'm saying that's one more down.
Yes, sir.
That's one
Yeah,
more
Yeah.
down. Rick,
Yeah.
you got to go pray.
Yes, sir.
yeah. So come up with another good
Oh no,
joint.
I got a topic every day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Every day I
Rich
got.
on his D.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a
Rick,
topic every day.
yeah,
Cause the
you heard me,
program is
Al?
called
what
TAC, through
you say?
adversity come change.
I said Rich on his D.
Yeah, you on the
Yes,
thing.
sir.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes,
Yeah, he
sir.
Yeah,
mook
on your
mean.
thing,
He
man.
on that mook mean.
They
Yes,
said, what's
sir.
that? What's that? They say, they saying, they said those who were the best, those who were the best in the dungeon is the
And
best in
then
the
the
thing.
dunya become the best in
The thing.
those who are the best in the dunya become the best in whatever
And they,
religion that
yeah,
they practice.
that's right.
Yeah. And
That's
just like
right.
I'm gonna give you a quick story. It was a dude that was he was a killer, and he killed 98 people. So he came to a priest, and he was like, "Yo, I'm trying to save my soul. Can I be saved?" So the priest was like, "Nah, it's over for you." So he killed the priest. So he got 99 bodies. So he come to another person. He said, "Yo, I'm trying to save my soul." So the dude was like, "Go over there. Go that way." They ended that over there. So on his way, he died. And this is to show you where God judged you by your intentions, your niyat. So he died on his way there. It's two different stories. One say that he was closer. Of course, the angel of death came on to take his body, and the angel of heaven came on to take his body. So they was beefing over it. So God said, measure the distance from where he was at to where he was going, and whichever one it is, that's where he goes. So he was further to repentance. So God judged him for his intention. After all the people he killed, God forgave him.
Mm.
So, it's about, your intentions. God judged you by your intentions. Why I feel this platform is going to do good is because it's about good intentions. We're coming from a good place.
Yeah.
It's just not, just talking to be talking. This is life experiences. This is the things that we went through, and we went through a whole lot.
Yeah.
Just us three right here, you can write like 10 movies, off
Right.
of our lives, separately intertwined and however. So there's a place for us to make it, I feel, and I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do so that we can, reap the fruits of the labor of this, because this is something that they need out there. These kids need to hear these stories and need to understand that we got to make changes in our life. It's not about staying the same. It's through our adversities that we make the changes we need to make to do the right things in our lives. Because, like I look at it like this, man. I served the devil for all them years, and look what it got me. I lost 28 years of my life. I lost my wife and kids. I lost my mother, father. I lost millions of dollars, businesses, houses. I don't even speak to my brothers no more, behind this, you know. So, okay. So going through that, just lets me know I'm in the right place. It's through adversity comes change. And we have to always understand that. You got to go through it to get to it. And if you don't go through it, you're never going to get to it. You brothers have a good night. Um, and let's do it again. Tag man out. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.